You know, most foreigners don't go broke abroad because of rent. They go broke because of small money mistakes that slowly drain their savings. Listen, I've lived overseas now 10 years. I can't even believe it, but it's been 10 years. The Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, and now I've been in Kenya for a while, and multiple trips to Malaysia. And today I'm going to share 7 of the biggest money mistakes that foreigners make when moving abroad, including ones that I've personally made. Stick around for today's video. All right, guys, mistake number 1, and that is not knowing your monthly burn. So what exactly do I mean by your monthly burn? I think people just budget the regular stuff, which is fine. You know, you budget for rent and groceries, but they forget things like taxis, visa fees, medical, dating, eating out, random repairs, maybe a new laptop. You don't exactly need a strict budget, but you definitely need to know your burn rate. You got to account for all those extra things that fall outside of the regular stuff like the rent, the electric, the internet, the water, those basic things. You got to go even further and think about other things as well. And I think mistake number 2 is using US cards for everything. Now, you have to do your research. You need to get a bank account, a couple bank accounts that don't charge the foreign transaction fees, that refund your ATM fees. Those ATM fees add up. You need to have a credit card that doesn't charge foreign transaction fees and gives you fraud protection, all those different things. So Wise and Capital One are my go-to, and for my banks I have USAA and Navy Federal Credit Union. There's a bunch more you can get, Capital One, Fidelity, Schwab, and maybe there's some other ones as well. I'll leave the links to the ones that I recommend down below, and I definitely recommend getting those. You can get the foreign transaction fees, the bad exchange rates, random card blocks, and a lot of times your bank assumes fraud the moment you go overseas. So you got to notify them and kind of see what the procedure is. And again, I personally use international banking apps like the Capital One, USAA, Wise, Navy Federal, Charles Schwab you could use. There's a bunch of them. And mistake number 3 for me is keeping all your money in one country. And what I mean by that is not really your home country, but like your country that you're living in. I think that's a huge mistake that I see expats make over and over. They'll keep all their money like in the Philippines or in maybe Kenya or Thailand, or they tie it all up in that one country. Really, you need to have a few bank accounts, and really, I think it's important to maintain your bank in your home country. Again, I had a problem with, because of the US phone number and not even having a current US driving license, I had an issue with one bank that Charles Schwab wouldn't even open an account for me. They flagged me. I had an issue with my credit card, my past credit card, because they wanted to send a verification code. Normally they were sending it by email, but this one time for some reason they wanted to send it by text, and it was an old phone number. So I called them up trying to change the phone number. I gave them the one that I was using, Google Voice. They didn't like that because it's a VoIP, voice over inter protocol, something like that. And I tried using my son's phone number. It had to be in my name. So I ended up getting my credit card shut down, and I had to go reapply for a new credit card when I got back in the States and got a current US driver's license and my US phone number. So just remember that. Make sure it's a reliable place that will send you in that you have a reliable phone number from your home country. One frozen card abroad can equal panic. That's why you want to set yourself up properly. I now, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is I now keep money in several places. So I'm never stranded. I got a credit card I could fall back on. I got my Wise account. I got 2 US bank accounts. e-wallet system in the country that I'm usually at. In Kenya, it's M-Pesa. In the Philippines, it's GCash. In Thailand, I would use MoretaPay. So there's multiple ways that you can kind of protect yourself and make sure you have options. Number 4 is underestimating immigration costs. Visas, extensions, agents, border runs can be pricey. Like if you're living in Vietnam, you got to exit every 3 months. Well, you got to pay for another visa, you got a plane ticket or a train ticket or a bus ride out and then back in and pay for the visa again. So this stuff adds up. And these are all recurring expenses that nobody tells you about. And number 5 is what I call lifestyle creep in inexpensive countries. Daily restaurants, dating expenses, weekend trips. For some reason, cheap countries actually make you spend more, not less. I mean, you start to think, you're like, God, my rent is only $400 a month. Oh, my electric is only $30 a month. Oh, this is only this much. And so you start to loosen up a little bit and you're like, oh, well, God, everything's so cheap that you start not to even track your expenses. You start to spend a little bit more because you're like, everything's so cheap. But even though you're living in a cheap country, doesn't mean that you suddenly don't pay attention to your spending habits and not counting expenses. You still got to be careful. Let me tell you something. Dating and girlfriends can cost you a lot of money. Trust me, I know. And number 6 is going to be no emergency fund abroad. A lot of hospitals around the world want cash before treatment. Philippines, definitely. In my book, and again, everybody's going to be a little different, but in my book, you need at least 3 months of living expenses. Not just your regular expenses, I mean total living expenses. And that is separate from your main account. And it's not a bad idea to have the travel medical insurance or even the regular insurance. There's links down below if you guys want to check that out. But definitely have it, and also have about a month worth of expenses in cash, very well secured in your condo or safe or whatever you have there. But it's a good idea to have it in cash as well, just in case. And number 7 is no income strategy. If your savings disappear fast. If you don't have remote income, then your clock is ticking fast. Now, if you're retired and you have your Social Security, a pension, whatever you have coming in on a regular basis, that is a secure set amount coming in, then you're probably okay. Maybe you're just broke till the next payday. But for the guys who come in with just a savings account and think that, well, you know, this online work will be fine, and then all of a sudden that dries up, or you lose the job, or, you know, the money goes way down. And I'm here to tell you, YouTube is not a great source of income. It's great for an extra spending money if you can make it happen, but don't count on it as a source of income, or a steady source of income anyway. You need to have multiple sources. And again, if you have a regular pension, Social Security, what have you, then fantastic. But you still need to have that savings account and at least 3 months worth of living expenses, because you may be broke till the next month if a big emergency happens. So at least you'll have a roof over your head, but maybe you're eating rice and beans for the next month. Anyway, guys, that's 7 of the biggest mistakes that I see happen. Comment down below with more if you have them. I'm going to be doing more of these types of videos. I'm here in my Kenya apartment here. I took a nice long train ride from Mombasa back to Nairobi. For me, Nairobi was more of a livable city, and Mombasa was more of a resort, beaches, weekend getaway, or a full week at a resort or something. For me, it had that kind of vibe. I had a great time there, and I took the premium class, which is like the upper class train back. It was $93, but very, very nice. I would completely do that again if I go back to Mombasa at some point. Anyway, guys, if you're planning to move overseas or already living here and you're struggling with budgeting, banking, or choosing locations, I offer private consultations, and the links are down below. I have a travel shop for all the recommended gear. I personally use for traveling or living overseas. And I appreciate, guys, if you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the bell notification. That way you are notified every time I come out with a new video. I appreciate it, and I'll see everyone on the next video. Ciao.
I'm tired of waiting here. Same four walls, same fading year. Got these plans stuck in my head. Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights in Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Geo, let's go before it's too late. Time